Hello everyone, this is going to be a 180 literary test for the RPR simulator and it will be 5 minutes long. Ready? I dropped my eyes, kneading the dying flesh of his feet between my fingers. For a moment I felt afraid, as if accepting his words would somehow betray my own father, but when I looked up I saw Maury smiling through tears, and I knew there was no betrayal in a moment like this. All I was afraid of was saying goodbye. Maury wanted to be cremated. The rabbi, a longtime friend whom they chose to conduct the funeral service, had come to visit Maury, and Maury told him of his cremation plans. The rabbi was stunned, but Maury was able to joke about his body now. The closer he got to the end, the more he saw it as a mere shell, a container of the soul. It was withering to useless skin and bones anyhow, which made it easier to let go. We are so afraid of the sight of death, Maury told me when I sat down. I adjusted the microphone on his collar, but it kept flopping over. Maury coughed. He was coughing all the time now. I read a book the other day. It said as soon as someone dies in a hospital, they pull the sheets up over their head and they wheel the body to some chute and push it down. They can't wait to get it out of their sight. People act as if death is contagious. Last night I had a terrible spell. It went on for hours. I really wasn't sure I was going to make it. No breath, no ending to the choking. At one point I started to get dizzy, and then I felt a certain peace. I felt that I was ready to go. His eyes widened. Mitch. It was a most incredible feeling, the sensation of accepting what was happening, being at peace. I was thinking about a dream I had last week where I was crossing a bridge into something unknown, being ready to move on to whatever is next. That is what we are all looking for, a certain peace with the idea of dying. If we know in the end that we can ultimately have that peace with dying, then we can finally do the really hard thing, make peace with living. It is natural to die. The fact that we make such a big hullabaloo over it is all because we don't see ourselves as part of nature. We think because we are human, we're something above nature. We are not. Everything that gets born dies. Do you accept that? All right, he whispered. Now here is the payoff. Here is how we are different from these wonderful plants and animals. As long as we can love each other and remember the feeling of love we had, we can die without ever really going away. All the love you created is still there. All the memories are still there. You live on, and in the hearts of everyone you have touched and nurtured while you were here. Even though he was weak, he went on to say, still, there are a few more rules that I know to be true about love and marriage. If you don't respect the other person, you are going to have a lot of trouble. If you don't know how to compromise, you are going to have a lot of trouble. If you can't talk openly about what goes on between you as a couple, you are going to have a lot of trouble. And if you don't have a common set of values in life, you are going to have a lot of trouble. Your values must be alike. And the biggest one of those values, Mitch, is your belief in the importance of your marriage. He sniffed and then closed his eyes for a moment. Personally, he sighed, his eyes still closed. I think marriage is a very important thing to do, and you are missing out on a lot in life if you don't try it. He ended the subject by quoting a poem that he believed in, like a prayer, love each other or perish. As I pondered what he had just said, he went on to say, so many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep even when they are busy doing things that they think are important. This is because they are choosing the wrong things. The way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to loving others, devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. He closed his eyes for a moment and quickly opened them again. I could tell that he He had so much more to say. Then he said, if you are trying to show off for people at the top, forget it. They will look down on you anyhow. And if you are trying to show off for the people down at the bottom, forget it. They will only envy you. Status will get you nowhere in life. Only an open heart will allow you to float equally between everyone. His voice was raspy, which usually meant he needed to stop for a while. Death ends a life, not a relationship. Okay, so we do have a word list. We've got Maury, capital Morrie. We have Mitch, capital Mitch. And I said hullabaloo. So you want to look that up, hullabaloo. Okay, and that is it for the word list. So that concludes your 180 literary for the RPR simulator. Good luck.